John Book's Newsmaker Saturday starts now.
Thanks for joining us for Newsmaker Saturday. We're going to talk to a journalist in Kiev, Ukraine, later in the program about the year anniversary of the war with Russia. We are 23 years into a drought here in Arizona. It has become topic one in this state. And even though we had a great monsoon and we're having a really good fall and winter in Arizona so far, snowpack is good, we've had a lot of rain, everyone is eyeing how do we conserve and allocate water in a dry, thirsty desert with a growing population. Salt River Project has an idea that is gaining traction, raising Bartlett Dam by perhaps 97 feet to increase our capacity along the SRP chain of lakes and dams that supply much of the valley's water. Leslie Meyers is an Associate General Manager and Chief Water Resources Executive at SRP. Great to see you.
Thank you.
This idea, we'll show the video of Bartlett. This is a really interesting idea. If we raise that 97 feet, that would double our capacity?
It could double the capacity. In fact, in our analysis that we're looking at, we're going to look everywhere from doubling to tripling the capacity at
That's astonishing because as I was going through kind of preparing for this interview, I was stunned to learn that we are using in Arizona the same amount of water, actually a little less, than we did in 1957. We were 1 million people then, we're 7 million now. If we didn't have a crisis then, why or are we in one now?
There's a number of things, but I think probably climate change is our biggest culprit right now. What we're seeing is that we're seeing a drier, hotter future. And in addition to that, what we see is that the drier times are drier than they've ever been and the wetter times are wetter than they've ever been, which is why Bartlett's so important, and other projects that we're looking at is we need to be able to capture and use that water during those really wet events.
So capture it when you can.
Yes.
This is a problem California's had. 80% of their water that is running off ends up in the Pacific Ocean.
That's true.
I mean, that is just unacceptable to any person, I'm sure, watching, saying that is such an incredible waste of an opportunity. We don't want to do that.
We don't.
We can't do that.
We can't do it.
Okay, so Bartlett, that is in this situation because Horseshoe, which is upstream, we could show some of the video of that, Horseshoe has sediment in it that is built up to take about a third of your capacity in Horseshoe, right?
That is the case.
So you can't get that sediment out, you can't run it through the system like they do in the floods in the Grand Canyon?
We've looked at a lot of different ways, actually. Before we started, the Bartlett Dam modification was just one of many options that we were looking at to address the sedimentation at Horseshoe Reservoir. But really, this Bartlett Dam has so many other benefits associated with it, including capturing more water on the Verde and being able to more beneficially manage that water. So that is it. The Bartlett Dam alternative is what has really emerged as a pathway forward.
Is it as simple? I think that's Bartlett right there. Is that correct? Does that look like Bartlett? Okay, that's Bartlett. Is it as simple as just building literally on top of it, laying concrete on top of this?
It's actually not. Bartlett Dam was constructed. When Bartlett Dam was constructed, we had the ability to build the dam. The dam actually was built in a fashion that most dams aren't. It's a thin arch dam, and it won't be able to support another structure on top of it.
Okay.
So what we're looking at is building just downstream of it, increasing the height, and leaving the dam there and using that for additional sediment control and other things.
You're talking about building a brand new dam.
We'll build a brand new dam.
Okay, you can't build on top of it. You've got to build a brand new dam. What kind of time frame are we talking about to do that?
We're in the process right now of doing what's called a feasibility study with the United States, with the Bureau of Reclamation, and lots of local partners.
You used to work there.
I did used to work
So your
there.
timing of now being at SRP is perfect.
Yes,
because
it
you
is.
know their game. Are they resisting at all, or do they think it's a great idea?
Not at all. Reclamation's totally on board. They're a partner. They're paying for 50% of the study. And they are helping to facilitate this all up and down the chain of command throughout the Department of Interior. So the great thing about that is we're right in the middle of it. We'll start a NEPA analysis soon.
NEPA is
National Environmental Policy Act.
I was going to ask you.
We'll do an EIS, Environmental Impact Statement, on that. That'll take a couple years.
Is anybody fighting you environmentally on loss of habitat if you let the water build up behind Bartlett, which runs all the way to Horseshoe almost, right?
So the beauty of all of this is it's a public process. And so we've included environmental organizations, non-governmental organizations, water users, federal agencies, and tribes in the study. So they'll have their say throughout the process, and they'll have time to comment on the environmental analysis.
Any rumblings from the environmentalists on this idea?
There's concerns, but I think that having them involved from the beginning of the process is very helpful.
Okay, you got to help me on this, Leslie. I am confused now because we are being told and we are reporting that we've got a water crisis in the desert. So explain to me how, if we're using less water than we used in 1957, and then in the late 80s, early 90s, CAP came online. Mm-hmm. If we got CAP on top of this, how is it possible we're in a water shortage? Well,
the Central Arizona project brings Colorado River water from the Colorado River into the Central Arizona through Maricopa County, Pinal County, and down to Pima County. I think we've all seen in the news the issues on the Colorado River, the shortages that the first initial shortage was declared in 2022. We're in the throes of that again now, and there's just not as much CAP water in the system.
You're much healthier on the salt and the Verde right now, which is your system, SRP.
For this year, we are. We are. Both systems are highly variable, and all of the systems in the Southwest are very variable in their from year to year. This year is a very good year on the Salt River project.
Could this be a game-changing year in terms of, might we see Lake Mead really rise? Could we get some big rise at Powell? Is it possible?
It's possible. There's still a good amount of time before the runoff season starts, which is when water actually gets to those reservoirs. So the watershed is in good shape, but this has happened in the past where there's been decent snowpack and still not normal flows.
There's a timing part of this, isn't there? In when the melt happens.
Yes.
You don't want it to happen all at once with a sudden warming, right? Where you get a really warm spring and it just, you burn it off.
That's essentially what happens, is the water sublimates, or it goes right from snow to gas and it evaporates away, literally. We don't want that to happen. This has been a good year on the Colorado River watershed. It's been a good year on the Salt River and Verde River watershed. So we know at Salt River Project that we're going to have a good year. We've already increased our storage in the last 3 months by 20%. Our projections are great. We'll have to wait and see what happens on the Colorado River.
Okay, so again, I keep circling back to this. If we're using less than what we used in 1957, and at that time, we only had SRP and groundwater, right? Mm-hmm. And if you guys double your capacity at Bartlett, do we need as much CAP water anymore?
We do. We do. And the reason why because we need reliability, and we need to be able to, we need a diverse portfolio.
I see.
So if there's anything that we've learned, is that you can't rely solely on any one of those sources.
Okay, so you've got to hedge, constantly hedge.
Yes.
That's what this is about.
It is.
So people may wonder, how is it possible we have 7 million people here and we're using less water than in 1957 when we had 1 million people? This is trading agriculture land for urban land, which uses far less. People use far less than farmland.
That is true, yes.
By a factor of what? 8 to 1?
Probably somewhere in that. It depends on what they're growing. Of course, you know, some crops use more water than others. But yes, it is a small fraction. If you think that today especially, we might build 4 homes on an acre of land, and use 1/5 or 1/6 the amount of water for those 4 homes that we used for agriculture.
And a big difference from 1957 is we are conserving. It's actually a success story, right? We have learned to conserve water in the desert much better. People are using less, farms are using less.
Yeah. And you know what we've done is we've used all kinds of water saving measures now in our homes. We have more efficient toilets and fixtures and all sorts of other things, and folks aren't using as much exterior water as they once were.
When you see this situation in the Rio Verde foothills that we've been reporting on, this 100-person subdivision, basically 100 residents, and they're out of water and they need a water source. Should they be in a situation like that? These are wildcat developments, right, that aren't under that you have to have a 100-year supply to build. Should we be in those situations? I mean, we've got water underground. We know there's water there. It's a matter of getting to it, right?
It is. And in 1980, when the Groundwater Management Act first was enacted and all of our policies came into place to deal with these sorts of things, it was a huge leap. It was a big win for Arizona to do that. Governor Hobbs has said one of her priorities is that she's going to come in and reevaluate the Groundwater Management Act and look at it and see how we bring it now into 2023. And we address some of these issues that were perhaps loopholes.
And groundwater's great because you don't lose as much to evaporation.
That's true.
That's a big, bottom line, we've got 15 seconds left. Where are we in this array of water here?
We're in good shape. It's always tentative. The Salt River Project is having a good year. We talked about that. One of the most important things that we can do as water providers in central Arizona is to cooperate, to collaborate. We have mechanisms to be able to move Salt River Project water into the Central Arizona Project water into the Salt River Project. We have a lot of stored groundwater. Today, what we really need to do is we need to work closer together and focus on the future. That's right.
Conserve. Leslie Meyers, appreciate it. General Manager, Chief Water Resources Exec at SRP. Really appreciate it. Good to see you. Back in a minute on Newsmaker Saturday, we will talk to a journalist in Kiev about the situation 1 year in with the war with Russia. Coming up. Back on Newsmaker Saturday, as you know, it's been a year now since Russia invaded Ukraine, and we thought it would be a very good time to reconnect with our friend, Mark Savchuk, who is in Kiev, Ukraine. Mark, we talked to you about a year ago. At that time, you were in a bunker. Now you're in your flat where you lived. How are you doing? How are the people of Ukraine doing a year into this? Good to have you, by the way.
Thank you very much. And straight from the beginning, I want to say that you are like the most professional interviewer I've seen in all the Western media. So I'm like, for me, it's a huge honor to talk to you. So
thank you very much. That's very nice.
For having me. So to answer your question, yeah, like I'm completely fine. Life in Kiev is, you know, as close as to normal as you can get in a war zone. So, you know, I use all the facilities around the city that I would normally use. So, yes, you have from time to time like air raids or something like that. But, you know, like judging from my life before 24th of February, 95 or maybe even more, 96 or 97% is the same. So more or less the same.
That's
You've
incredible. That's incredible because the advance, Russia, I think, thought that they could roll into Kiev and roll you guys, and it just never happened.
Absolutely, absolutely. They were incredibly. They suffered their own propaganda. They became they made the mistake of believing their own propaganda. So they thought that Ukrainians are not going to put any fight. And you know, I don't know, like lots of interviewers from the United States asked me about this, you know, huge column, and they, you know, I've seen this fear in their eyes when they talk to me, and they were like, are you afraid, like in Kiev? And I was saying, no, we're gonna kick their ass. And so that's exactly what happened. For me, it's actually, you know what? Like I see this reruns of what Western journalists and commentators were saying in early spring 2022. And it's like I almost have tears in my eyes, because they're saying things like, it's not a question of if, but when Russians are going to capture Kiev. The fact that this is imminent and stuff like that. And I was like, why are you saying this? Like, seriously, why? You're a million miles away. You have never been here. You've
And
never
you knew that your
countrymen,
you knew your countrymen would put up a heck of a fight, and you have. Conversely, it appears that the Russian troops are really, a lot of these folks don't want to be there. They are not into it, to use an American phrase.
A bit different.
What do you think
not
about
exactly
that?
like that. So what happened, because if they didn't want to be here, they would be surrendering in large numbers. The fact is, we are in this war a year already. They are not. Okay, so they're not surrendering like in the thousands. It just doesn't happen. Even though that sometimes they know that they're going to die, like for almost certain doom, they still don't surrender like in thousands. Yes, we do accept surrenders every day, but I'm just saying that this is not something like a massive, on a massive scale. It doesn't happen. What happened on February and in March was that the soldiers that came into Ukraine, they didn't understand what was happening. But I wouldn't say that they didn't want to be here. So I just think that most of them were surprised because no one told them that they were actually going to go to war.
That's a problem.
I wouldn't say that it's the same as not wanting to be here. It's a bit different.
Yes, thank you for clearing that up. So we keep hearing that there's going to be a big Russian offensive in the springtime.
Yeah, that's
what do you think that might entail? Is it propaganda? Is it?
No. It's just again, it's just commentators get this wrong. The push that they're talking about, it's already happening. That's the mistake. So of course, yes, it's true that Russians are planning a huge attack. The problem with Western commentators is that they say it's gonna happen in the spring. That's their mistake. It's happening now. That's where they get it wrong. So they are right about Russians planning a big push, etc., etc. They're just wrong that it's going to happen in the spring. It is happening as we speak.
Okay.
That is precisely why, if you look at the official numbers that Ukrainian high command is giving out in terms of Russian losses, you see constantly, every single day, more than 500 soldiers killed from Russian side. So, and sometimes we get 1,000 per day. That's insane amounts. That's already is an indication that they are just pushing as hard as they can. They don't have the same technologically technical advantage as they had in February, because they were using their regular troops, which are more better equipped, that are normal mobilized personnel. Yeah, so those soldiers were at least they knew what the war is. They knew the protocols, that how they need to fight. And the people who have been mobilized by Russian government right now, those are just civilians, and most of them have big bellies and bad health, and so they're just throwing them in the thousands on our positions in Bakhmut, and that's why you see this absolutely enormous human casualties. And that is the indication that this offensive, it's not planned for spring, it's happening right now.
Okay, Mark, help me with something. You're aware of the debate going on in the United States, within the United States right now, about how far is the United States going to go to help Ukraine? Some of the public polling now has started to get, a little softer. A lot of Americans are a little weary about this because they see that we've been entangled in stuff before and we get caught up in it and we can't find a way out. Even though we're not actively fighting, we are supplying so far about $150 billion between military and economic aid. Do you worry that the United States won't be in it for the long haul? And without that aid, what would happen?
Well, To be honest, it's very difficult to imagine. I just so what's going to happen if, for example, United States stops aid and EU stops aid to Ukraine? What you're going to see is absolutely like daily videos of people being tortured, raped, and killed. And to be honest, I don't believe that people will look at this and say this is fine. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I just can't imagine people seeing like thousands and thousands of people killed every single day,
sure,
and saying, you know, this what I want to go is just to go to a beach to Florida. I don't give a damn.
Are you as confident?
I just don't feel that this is going to happen.
Are you confident that the money is going to the right places? I mean, if we're sending military aid, is it going to military aid or is it lining somebody's pocket? Can we be assured that this money is going to the right place? Because there isn't a lot of oversight.
Well, actually, it's not quite true. United States has their, like, I don't remember what's the official title. It's the person from a Pentagon who oversees the weapons transfers. So it's literally his full-time job. He's there he's here every single day, and whatever he does is looking at where United States arms and weapons go and how they're being used. And this person reports back to Pentagon, and then Pentagon is basically saying what he's saying to them. And so far, throughout this whole year, the official position of the Pentagon was that Ukrainian army is extremely efficient. I think the head of Pentagon said that Ukraine did pretty much what it could in 2022, meaning that results from our army were as much as anybody could have hoped.
Oh, there's no doubt.
It's sort of impossible to do it better. That's what he said.
Mark, we've got about 3 minutes, so I want to cover a couple of points.
Yeah.
What does victory look like? Because it doesn't appear right now that there will be a way to extract Russia from eastern Ukraine. Would you agree with that or not?
I think no, because look, a year ago we were talking about Kiev capitulating like in a few weeks. That's what people were thinking. Now I think it's fair to say that no one thinks that Ukraine is going to lose this war. And so obviously right now we are fighting this like misbelief in Ukraine or Ukrainian army. I can tell you straight away that like reconquering Crimea, taking it back is something that is absolutely real. And like the whole Ukraine believes that this is absolutely possible. And what a victory looks like is when we restore our full borders, which believe me, we will fight to the tooth and nail. If we don't get it done this year, next year, we don't care how many years it's going to take. We're going to get it back. It's our home.
Got it. Okay. What is the worry, the level of concern over nuclear, even limited nuclear, tactical nuclear devices being deployed into this theater of war? This is a big worry in the United States that we may end up being, brought into World War III here.
It's a fair argument. We just think that it's not going to happen. That's it. So if Putin wanted to use them, he said, like, if Ukraine attacks Crimea, we're going to use nuclear weapons. That's basically what he's saying. That's why a lot of people in the United States say, but the thing is, Ukraine have attacked Crimea many, many times over already, very successfully. Ukraine have attacked bases and military objects in Russia, in Russian mainland, many times over, very successfully. Nothing happens. We just think that the risks for Russia is so enormously high that there is absolutely no way they're going to use it. They know this is literally the last argument they can get to try to push West into submission, and that's why they use it. And here you go. You see, you asked me this question.
It's a bluff.
Today.
You think it's a bluff?
So, yes, we think it's a bluff.
Mark Savchuk in Kiev, Ukraine. So good to see you. I'm glad you're healthy and you're doing well. And I know the casualties and the losses have been enormous, and cities have been decimated. But you give us a lot of hope about how you guys are faring over there.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Great to see you. We'll do it again. We're back in a minute on Newsmaker Saturday.